What up, gang? Good old Saturday, man. We coming back at you, man. I had this one on last night, man. Had a real bad signal. So I wanted to go back over this one, man, before I, go further. But this is my shit right here, man. This is the DC shit, man. Stuff we grew up on, man. Backyard band salute. Stand the fuck up, DMV. Get it. We gonna just touch on a little bit about DC, man. Wayne Perry, Curtbone. Salute to both of them. And we gonna slide to hood time content. Hood time, man. Good content, man. Ride through the hood. Show off different hoods in different cities, man. Much respect. I'm giving you respect for using the content, man. So we're going to go through each one. Might get a pop or two, man. I apologize. We're not going to listen to everything, man. But salute to everybody in the building, man. We in this motherfucker. So, like I said, man, this is go-go music, man, from Washington, D.C., man. So I let this crank a little bit, man. Y'all get ready, put your seatbelt on. And we're going to jump right into the Wayne Perry story, man. Let's get into our history, man, not to glorify him. I'm one of that's the new Memphis, man. That's how it used to be down here. It used to be real. I mean, it's still bad, but it's, a lot of the stuff moved to Maryland and Virginia. They moving our people, they out raising the taxes and whatnot, getting them out of the place, man, so they can sell them home to white folks. So we're going to let it crank for a little bit, man. I'm going to jump right into it, man. This might be a little bit long. I'm sorry, man, but it's really good content, man. You know what I'm saying? Just follow along with me. We'll get through it, man. Go ahead and share my screen, man. Let's get right to it, because it's a little bit long, but I ain't going to, bore you to death. Just show you little snippets and whatnot. So, without further ado, man, let's get right into it, man. We'll talk about Wayne Perry, man. Michael Jordan of murder, bro. I mean, at that time, I probably was a little child. I think he was about 13 years older than me, but, it is what it is, man. Again, salute to everybody, man. Have a great weekend, great Saturday, man. Be safe out here, man. People ain't playing fair with black people, man.
And placed it a few inches from the back of his head, and he closed his eyes and pulled the trigger about 3 times and took off running. And as Wayne was running back to the spot that he was supposed to meet his cousin at after doing the hit, he started to cry because he looked inside of the revolver and seen shell casings. And when he reached his cousin, he kept crying, and his cousin was like, "What's wrong, man? What happened?" And Wayne, being so young and not knowing anything about guns, he didn't know that the shell casings from revolvers don't hit the ground. So his cousin had to explain that to him and calm him down from crying. Not crying because he committed a murder at 12 years old. He was crying because he thought he had messed up his first hit. This would be the day that Wayne elevated from the amateur ranks of petty crime into the professional ranks of the murder gang. He attended Wilson High School, and the 6'3" Wayne Perry excelled in multiple sports: basketball, football, and especially baseball. According to Wayne, he was in the Washington Post a few times due to his baseball accolades, but eventually he was kicked off the team for beating the coach with a baseball bat. Then Wayne was expelled from all public schools in Washington, D.C. for shooting a hall monitor during a school riot. Wayne, he said he didn't do it, but everybody pointed the finger towards him. Wayne would be sent to an alternative school to get his GED. But while he was there, another one of the troubled teens threatened Wayne. They threatened to smack him and to take his chain. And Wayne caught him walking home from school one day and waited for the right moment and shot him multiple times and killed him. 1978 would be the year that Wayne started to rob banks. With the OGs he came up around, he said they would take his bullets out of his gun when they went to the robberies because they knew he was trigger happy. And in 1979, his little brother was actually murdered in one of the bank robberies when he was shot by a cop. And as the early 1980s arrived, Wayne's reputation was growing as a killer, not just in Southwest DC, but in the entire city. And after witnessing his brother being murdered in a bank robbery, Wayne would try his hand in the dope game, but hustling really wasn't his strong point. He was more into extortion and murder. Wayne would become known for not just being a hitman for hire, but for robbing and murdering local drug dealers. It said a lot of them didn't even want to get cars that were too flashy because Wayne would see that they was getting money and pull up on them.
When people hear about Wayne Perry, 9 times out of 10 will come to mind as hitman or killer.
When they mention his name, they mention murder in the same sense because he was about his work.
He an animal, man.
Well respected, man. Just known for not playing to leave you leaking.
I could have put my man Wayne from D.C. They don't know Wayne. Wayne would have walked right up on him, hit him 3 times, and then piss on him. Because D.C., they quick for their guns, man. Okay. They kill you in a minute, especially if they know you're from out of town.
And sometimes, instead of just taking them off the map by killing them, Wayne would give the drug dealers an option. And he would tell them, if you give me money, then I'll be your friend. But if you don't give me money, then I'm not your friend, which was basically a threat. WP had the whole town on lock. A lot of people in fear. A lot of people didn't want to get on the wrong side of Wayne Perry because they knew on that wrong side was the barrel of a gun. Wayne Perry was beyond dangerous. A man by the name of Thomas Dozier, who was once a part of his crew, told a story of getting out of prison and being picked up by Wayne. Wayne asked him, like, do you got some money? Dude was like, no, I'm fresh out. I ain't got nothing. Wayne told him, hey, you know what? I'm going to take you to go get some money. And they pulled up to this spot of a well-known drug dealer. And Wayne told Thomas, go inside, tell him that Wayne is out here and he want his money and don't make me come in there. And the dude said he looked at Wayne and just like, you serious? Because this is a well-known drug dealer. And Wayne just looked at him and said, go in there and tell him what I just said. And a few minutes later, came out with a bag full of money. Not too many people in the city wanted war with Wayne, but every now and then he would be tested. And one of his rivals almost caught him slipping one day and tried to kill him, just so happened in front of the police. But Wayne, he returned fire on this person, and Wayne ended up killing them instead. They tried to charge him with murder. It happened right in front of a cop, but the cop ended up testifying that Wayne did it in self-defense. They gave him other lesser charges, but nowhere near a murder rap. Wayne was beginning to look like Teflon, although he would spend the better part of the mid-'80s locked up at Lorton Prison. And when he was released in 1987, his dad died right after he got out. And according to Wayne, he went crazy. He just lost it. He had a death wish. In the year of 1987 into the early 90s, Washington, D.C. would see a surge in murders, and this coincided with the reign of Wayne Perry. It seemed like everybody that dropped in the city, Wayne Perry's name was some way attached to it. And the rise of Wayne Perry ran parallel to the rise of Michael Jordan. And people would say, what does Michael Jordan have to do with a Washington, D.C. hitman? Well, Wayne Perry's murder game became so legendary on the streets of D.C., the authorities and some gangsters started to refer to him as the Michael Jordan of murder. And when Wayne's little brother was asked about his legendary status, he was quoted as saying, "Wayne is as silent as the wind and as deadly as fire." But eventually, Wayne would be locked up once again, and the city could breathe again. All the gangsters and the drug dealers could move around a little bit more free, knowing Wayne ain't lurking in the shadows. But a series of events would occur that would change Wayne Perry's life forever when Albert Martinez, aka Alpo, came into his life. Now, exactly how they met, there's two sides to the story. Wayne Perry claims that one night he was out and a man by the name of Shorty Pop, who he was close to, introduced Alpo to him. But Wayne said he wanted to kill Alpo because a female that he was dealing with told him that Alpo said he was going to put a hit out on Wayne. And Shorty Pop had to talk him out of it, and Alpo had to talk to him and tell him that it wasn't true. And allegedly, Shorty Pop went back and killed that woman. That's Wayne's version. Alpo's version is a little different. According to Alpo, Wayne was still locked up, and his bond was only $10,000, but nobody would put the money up because he had the streets of DC in absolute fear. But Alpo saw the long game, so Alpo put up the money to set Wayne free, once again unleashing him on the streets of DC. Now, Alpo had already been in the city trying to make some moves, move his work, but he was running into a lot of resistance. DC, they didn't play too well with out-of-towners, especially one with a reputation like Alpo's. But it was a lot of strong dudes in the city, and Alpo just didn't have the muscle, so he would get extorted, robbed on a pretty consistent basis, but he was still getting money. And he would try to work with the dudes in the city, but they just wasn't dealing with him for real. And eventually he got set up, and some dudes tried to shoot and kill him during a drug deal.
When I say my man, because a lot of people were starting to talk about, well, we got to get rid of the kid Pope because he's getting too much money, and he's not even from here.
I did hear you got shot.
I got shot because they was trying to kidnap me in D.C.
Could you please tell us who you are?
We are from mostly planets Erra and Teme. That's all.
Sorry about that, man. We got some pop-up.
In the Messiah 45 star system, he is the sex system.
Super pop-up.
We come from the fifth decile. The Cabal was preparing the calling of the people.
Yo, we're going to pause this,
It
man.
was related to the end times of 2012. We stopped that. So what we do is to point things out to people so they will in turn see more until a tipping point in consciousness is achieved, and then things will start to turn towards the positive.
Yeah, sorry about that. We gonna skip past that, man. Keep it moving. Put a Curtbone down, and you know, just track everything, man. What's been going on, man? You already know. You can pull up yourself, man. You know, it's pretty rough in DC. They don't mess with a lot of people from out of town. You feel me? So that's true. So let me pull up this other stuff, man. So you guys can get on your way. Let me see here. Let me share my screen here. Like I said, I'm pop-ups, well, they're blowing. But YouTube guy pay their bills. I get it. So just bear with me on that. My apologies. And we're gonna get right into now. Curtbone. Like I said, these videos long, man. Salute to everybody who put that on here. So we good to go.
At one point, Alpo, who was from Harlem, started to go to DC and started to make his connections in your city. So when did you actually meet Alpo?
Like I said, I probably technically met him probably about 86 or something like that, but we started being, our relationship got a little close, probably like the late part of 87, going to 88. Well, 88, I'm gonna say 88.
Okay, so when you first met Alpo, what'd you think?
I didn't thought I already seen him moving around. I already had people that was close up on him that was giving me the opinion of him. So I know some girls he dealt with. Again, my man was fucking with him. I mean, when I first met him, he was chill. He was chill.
Okay, so there's other, outside of Rayful, of course, there's other DC guys that are moving around and making moves and so forth. One of them was Ears the Christ, who I recently interviewed. How did you and Ears get to know each other?
I met Ears the Christ through my man, Andre Tank.
Yeah, Andre Tank Johnson.
I knew Ears as a young guy, but we started interacting through Andre, but I knew of him,
Okay, so how did you and Andre get to know each other?
Through somebody that I was serving, that was his partner. So, so I ended up meeting Andre through his initial partner.
Okay, and were you guys actually working together and doing business, or just kind of a casual relationship?
Yeah, no, he was one of my customers.
Aha, so you were basically his plug.
Yeah, you could say that. That plug word tickled me though, but you could say that.
Okay. All right, and then right around 89, you ended up introducing Alpo to Ears the Christ and Andre Tank Johnson.
Yeah, 89, April, probably not, wasn't April, probably about the summer 89. But I was incarcerated when it happened. My ears might have had a timeline messed up. He said something about on the streets. It didn't happen that way. I introduced to him the Tank when he was when I was incarcerated.
We put him so much CB, like, man, I'm gonna turn y'all into a good dude. You feel me? So we was like, I don't care. We was pumping so much. Kirk like CB like going out. So we put up on him one night. He was trying to take his lady to the movies. We had to beg him to go get some shit for us. He said, we don't sleep. We trying to get paid. We trying to get rich. So he did it. He came back, gave us the shit. The next day, he was like, man, I'm going to turn y'all on to my man. He a good man. Y'all a good man. So he introduced us to Alpo the Rat.
Alpo Martinez.
Alpo the Rat. That's what I called him. Yep.
Okay. So is this you being incarcerated over the whole Rayful Edmonds sweep that was happening?
Right, yeah. I got locked up. I was indicted. I mean, we're not indicted. Was locked up April 89, for the Rayful Edmonds case at that time.
Okay. So essentially, okay, I see what you're saying. So you were already off the street and you just kind of made a connection while you were locked up.
Right, yeah. Tank actually, reached out to me and said what he think about saying, doing some business with him. I said, he getting a few joints. I'm saying you could do something with him. He ain't a bad guy, and they end up, bond a relationship at that point.
Okay, so let's talk about this bust in '89.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the largest drug case in DC history, AKA the Rayful Edmonds case.
Mm-hmm.
So what led up to all these indictments and arrests and everything else like that?
The FBI laid down their investigation through this lady, Ray Zanville, a white lady that Ray was dealing with, ended up working with the police. So she ended up infiltrating, but wearing a wire and, talking to his mother, talking to friends and family members, and was getting a lot of information and taking it back to the government, and they built their case around that.
Okay. So when they actually built their case, how many people were arrested?
I forgot the exact number. It was either 30 or 29 or 31, and one of those numbers.
Okay. And you were one of those 30?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get arrested, you get indicted for conspiracy, murder after the fact, the gun that was used in the murder, and with all that, you're facing 35 to life?
Exactly.
Okay. And you're how old at the time? Like 20 years old?
20. Yep, just turned 20.
Okay. So how does a 20-year-old react to hearing 35 to life? That's more years. That's damn near twice as many years you've been alive at this point.
Yeah, isn't that a good thing to hear? Definitely, you know what I'm saying? But I was a different 20, not saying I was a super tough guy, but I was around a lot of older dudes as young, running errands for the trap house and different things like that. So having those conversations in that situation, it wasn't foreign to me. So I was just trying to figure out what's the best way to try to beat these people.
Okay. And I'm assuming, just like it always happens in the, in law enforcement, when they arrest you, they offer you, hey, listen, you're not the main guy that we're going after. We're going after Rayful. So, hey, cooperate, give us some information. We'll make that 35 turn into 1 or 2 years, or get off with probation. Were you offered that in the beginning?
Right. Yeah. Now that's a lot of TV shit people be saying. That don't normally happen. The government when they come and get you, the feds, they did their homework. They got their case already wrapped up. So they already know who they can ask those questions to and who they can't ask those questions to. So if they doing their investigation, they'll pinpoint, we can ask Joe Blow this, but we can't ask Hurry that. And I was a Hurry dude.
Yeah, 98% conviction rate.
Yeah, so there's a lot of Joe Blow.
Why aren't you the landlord? Yes, you. Why aren't you the landlord? Every day you go to and from work and you look up and you see apartment buildings, self-storage facilities, office buildings, shopping centers. And I bet at times what's going through your mind is, what would it be like if I owned that commercial property? What would the cash flow be?
My apology, man. Yeah. One thing that stuck out to me, man, he know the Fed system, man. They did their homework already. You understand? So it's not like you can fool them, man. So, like with these cases right now, this is RICO from the 80s, 90s, and whatnot. So these guys, you look at Young Thug situation and stuff like that, they don't have no chance, man. Like, unless you want to tell, like he said, if you're a Harry or whatever, we're going to go right back into that just to pop it through us off a little bit, man. But I want to go back into that for about 3 to 5 more minutes, and then we're going to go to something else, man. Just look at the streets of D.C., and please drop the comment, man. Let me know what you guys think. So let me go up here. Let me pull this back up. And this shit is crazy trying to navigate through everything, man. This YouTube crap is kind of weird, man. But we're going to make it through. And I appreciate everybody, man. I hope everybody having a great damn day. Enjoying your goddamn Saturday. You know what I mean? Tomorrow, go to church. You know what I'm saying? Praise the Lord, man. Give your time to that man, man. I mean, that man looks after us, man. So
when they come and get you the feds, they did it.
So we're gonna go right back into that. Let me just share my screen 1 second. And my apology for that. Like I said, these pop-ups just pop up. YouTube gotta pay their bills. I get it. We're not getting paid at all. We ain't looking for that, man. We just trying to put out good content and whatnot. So join the team, man, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, man, and just sit back, relax, man. It's something you could just gain knowledge of what's going on now, because with like all this Dolph shit, that's probably gonna be a Rico. You already got one. You already see with Young Thug. This is like the first steps in the process, and he knows quite a bit about it. Salute to Curtbone. Salute, Soldier. All right, we're gonna go right back to it and go from there.
They got their case already wrapped up, so they already know who they can ask those questions to and who they can't ask those questions to. So if they doing the investigation, they'll pinpoint. We can ask Joe Blow this, but we can't ask Hurry that. And I was a Hurry dude.
Yeah, I mean, 98% conviction rate. I mean,
yeah. So it's a lot of Joe Blows.
Don't buy another bottle of bug spray before watching this.
Whether it's roaches, ants, fleas, bed bugs, or any other filthy insects, without exposing your loved ones to toxic chemicals. It's called Bug MD Pest Concentrate. This powerful plant-based formula is derived straight from Mother Nature, and it's proven to kill creepy crawlies in the blink of an eye. It features two of the world's most potent essential oils, clove oil and cottonseed oil, a dynamic duo that's released to over 20 insect species.
We'll try one more time.
People and pets. Simply mix pest concentrate with water in our eco-friendly forever spray bottle and protect counters, baseboards, pet beds, carpets, or anywhere else in your home.
Stop it again. We're gonna go right back into it, because there's some shit you need to see. If you want to learn about these cases and whatnot, you want to really know what really goes on. This man actually knows the shit. When they come and get you, all right. So just pay attention, man. Just try to follow through. Hopefully, if it's another pop, we're gonna just go to the next one, man, because this shit getting crazy. But I understand, man. It's frustrating for me just to deal with this crap. So let me share my screen, and we'll go from there. And hopefully, damn. I mean, they got popping up. So I don't know if it's a YouTube thing, what's going on, but we'll see.
They did their homework. They got their case already wrapped up, so they already know who they can ask those questions to and who they can't ask those questions to. So if they doing the investigation, they'll pinpoint. We can ask Joe Blow this, but we can't ask Hurry that. And I was a Hurry dude.
Yeah, I mean, 98% conviction rate. I mean,
yeah. So there's a lot of Joe Blows, but there's some Hurries on there too, though. So they're gonna get some help. That's why they gang up a lot of people to hope somebody break. But they don't ask. They don't bring everybody in for interrogation. I mean, trying to make them help themselves. That's a lot of TV stuff right there.
Okay, so you were never offered to cooperate?
No.
Okay, so but here you are, 20 years old, facing life in prison. Worst case. Did you have lawyer money at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. How much did you spend on your lawyer?
I think it was like 85 or 90.
Okay, damn near 100 grand.
Yeah.
It's interesting how many people live this type of life and they get arrested, then they go and get a public defendant. You know what I'm saying? And like don't prepare for which is often the inevitable situation of getting arrested. But you actually had put aside a good amount of money to get the best lawyer to actually protect you.
Right, yeah. Like I say, fortunately, I was raised by older cats that already been around the barn.
Okay, so they were telling you, like, just keep stacking money on the side because, you know.
Yeah. They don't actually tell you. They tell you, but you ear hustle enough and you see enough stories to be around and you get 2 + 2 is 4.
Okay, so they offer you the 35 to life. And then, you know, what happens in most cases is as you get closer and closer to the trial date, they start to kind of chip that number down and so forth, right?
No, they trying to get every day out your ass. They ain't trying to trip you down, like you said, unless you're getting some assistance or something like that, right? But you know,
well, I mean, no, in terms of plea deals, like usually
plea deals, right? They offer you plea deals. Okay, I got you.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So your first plea deal was how much?
My first plea that they offered me was like it was like a lesser conspiracy, keep me attached to the case. That was, I forgot what it's called. It was a lesser conspiracy. I forgot the number they called it. So that was the first joint they gave me, and I turned that one down. And I turned it down because I based on my own decision. I ain't what my other co-defendants said. You went early, you heard us. So so I turned that one down.
Okay. Well, the murder after the fact
Mhm.
indictment, what was that about?
Oh yeah.
And sorry. Before you actually answer that, what does that even mean? Murder after the fact. I've never even heard that before.
Right. That means if somebody kills somebody right now, and he leave and go somewhere, and he get around you, they give you the accessory after the fact to the murder. So if I kill somebody right now in this studio and go get in my car, and somebody down there with me in the car, they gonna put them to the case and say you was guilty by after the fact. And they use the same gun used in the case also that the person might have used.
Okay. And they try to tie you to that. So basically, they're saying that someone else killed someone and then went to go hang out with you afterwards?
Right, yeah. Well, what actually happened is someone, put that work in, and then they went all the way across town, and they end up getting in the car with me. The person who dropped them off across town caught a case 6 or 7 months ago, and he told them the whole situation from the murder all the way to where a seller went at. So that's how I got tied into the case.
Oh, okay. But it has to be more than just you go hang out with someone. Do they try to prove that after the murder they had talked to you about the murder and you knew about it and everything else like that?
No.
You see what I'm trying to say? Like I mean, because you can go get into a cab after a murder and decide the cab driver gonna get tied into it.
But you and the cab don't got no relationship. They ain't been investigating you and the cab driver. Y'all been on the same calls and hanging out and all that type of stuff.
Okay, so basically they're trying to say you're part of this murder conspiracy in some sort of way.
You gotta keep in mind they investigate, then they trying to put the conspiracy together. You know what I'm saying? All this happened during the same timeline.
Okay, and during this time, did they give you bail or are you sitting in jail?
No, they didn't. No bail. Was in jail.
Okay, because what, you were a flight risk?
I mean, they consider all of us a flight risk just because the nature of the case and the notoriety of it.
Okay, so how long are you sitting in jail while this whole case is kind of developing?
I sat the whole time until they came up with my sentence, and I ended up, going through my time. But they probably the trial. I probably settled DC jail, what they call on the AS, for probably 14, 15 months.
Okay. And by this time, is this the first time you're actually getting locked up?
Yeah. I got locked up before, but I never did no jail time as a juvenile.
Got it. Okay. So here you are locked up for a year and some change, and your lawyer is doing what he does. Mm-hmm. And eventually they get the offer down to just money laundering.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you a plea deal to that.
Exactly.
Were you actually money laundering during this time, or was it just something they gave you just so they can get something on you?
Yeah, no. And money laundering, people look at money laundering straight from a business aspect. But money laundering can mean that if you take some illegal money, if I go gamble on the street and win $50,000 and I go open a business, I just launder that money. So it was a parenthesis in there for gambling. My defense to my lawyer was I was a gambler. I never meant to do nothing but gambling. So we end up using that same theory to go there. Actually, the government didn't even offer that to me. We put that together and proposed it to them because they kept on trying to offer me all these deals. So we figured out something to take to them.
Okay, so you basically said, I'm not a drug dealer, I'm a gambler. All this money came from gambling. I'll admit to using gambling money to try to start legitimate businesses, and which will take me out of this whole Rayful Edmonds kind of umbrella of drug dealing and murder and everything else like that.
Right, exactly. Right. And by record, I'm not, if you put up the files, I'm not even part of their case. They actually dropped my Rayful Edmonds case, and I pleaded guilty to money laundering. I created my own charge for them.
Okay. And were you using money to actually start businesses, which is how the money laundering thing even came together, or no?
No, this is just the gambling aspects of it. The gambling was enough.
Okay, got it. Okay. So you went from 35 to life to getting 51 months.
Yeah, 51 months, exactly.
4 years, 3 months.
Right. And
you're 20, 21 at the time?
Yeah, I started off at 20, so I don't know probably 21 when I went to the feds, probably, I'm assuming.
Okay. So you take this deal for 4 years and 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Rayful Edmonds at the same time is going through a very different type of case, though.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up getting life in prison.
Mm-hmm.
When you heard about Rayful getting life, what'd you think?
That was a shitty deal. I thought it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, again, I knew that was the end game they were trying to do, but I thought it was a crazy thing to get them boys life for selling drugs.
Well, even at that level, I mean, providing 60% of all the drugs, making hundreds of millions of dollars, like
but
tens of millions, however you want to say it.
Yeah, but that's the same people that say you made 80 million, a week or a month or something. So, you know, just like you said, after the fact to a murder because somebody jumped in your car across town. So it's their game. They make the rules. You just got to don't get caught in their rules.
Well, he gets life in prison and his mother gets 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
And is that because of the white girl that was like recording the mom and everything else like that?
Yeah, the stuff that she had in the wiretap and, you know, things that she said, it hurt her.
Okay. So he gets his case. He starts his prison term.
All right, fam, we're going to move on.
He continues to sell drugs in prison.
We're going to look at hood time.
Then he gets next.
They just roll
on top of it.
Been a road just in DC. Hopefully we don't get no more.
And in 1996, it actually gets revealed that he became a government informant. Were you surprised that he turned informant?
Yeah, I was definitely surprised. Definitely.
Okay. I mean, how close were you guys before he got locked up?
Super close. Probably like brothers.
Okay. What was it about Rayful that was different from everyone else that really allowed him to get to that level?
Because a lot of people that got the means and the connection like that don't really want to see other people eat. So he was trying to let everybody eat. So that made him different, and that just alone trying to make sure everybody ate.
Right, but with his cooperation, 11 other alleged drug dealers ended up getting arrested.
Yeah, but you're talking past 96. I'm talking in my era. So what's your question about that time?
Okay, yeah. Sorry. I'm jumping around a little bit. My apologies. Okay, so let's just jump back to 1996 again.
Okay.
So he starts to cooperate, and the story's a little fuzzy around his cooperation.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying, I remember I saw a documentary where they're saying he cooperated because the agreement was that they would let his mother out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Did you hear the same thing?
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
Okay. He cooperates, his mother gets out of prison, but with his cooperation, 11 other people end up going to prison.
Right.
Yeah, man, I just show you, man, that you gotta be careful out here, man, who you associate yourself with, man. You know, them big crews, man. For me, I got a rule, man. I can't have no more than 5 friends I can count on my hand. That Rico shit is real, and that's what we seeing right now with Dolph and Young Thug. Oh, it's gonna happen with Dolph, trust me. I don't know who, but it's more to it. So, like I said, man, y'all be easy, man. Y'all chill out here, man. I could play the other video, man. I just play a little bit of that, man, because that's my plan. I hate to have a long video, but it is what it is, man. I think it's very informative, man. They can kind of get you, you know, how the Rico works. Salute to Curtbone, man. He dropped some good jewels, period. How everything works, he's been there and done that. Comment if you've been there and done that. We can't really say that, so let's salute the soldier, man. We gonna jump into this little. It's just a little video of just surrounding the DC, man. Just a street and whatnot. The guy Hood Time, he does that, man. Every city, man. Salute the Hood Time. So we'll just check this off about maybe 2 minutes, if that, and we'll keep it moving. Close out game. Thank you guys for watching, man. But you can always pull this up, man. Curtbone TV. You can go to the Rayful Edmonds story. all those guys putting it up, man. I salute you guys for taking the time out. You got Wayne Perry. It's very interesting, man. I think it's where it started at. I think it's where Memphis is at now. So, without further ado, again, we're going to jump into this, man. You know how we do it, man. We keep it moving. He's at the Bennett Road area, man. I'm just glad he going in the daytime, man. Like I said, we're going to get out of here, gang. May hear a little echo. It's different when I'm muted and whatnot. But, I looked at the time, man. We have 42 minutes, bro. We got to roll. Salute to everybody who stayed in, everybody who donate. You know what I mean? My email in the description, anything can be covered, I will. But this is just your Bennett Road area, man. Of course, like I said, he's very smart. He's going in the daytime, man. That's the safest thing, man. Salute to Hood Time. Putting up this content. I support it. So I watch the hoods and whatnot. It's just different. I just get tired of hearing about the same thing, man. So it's okay to follow somebody, and especially with different content, man. That's what we need to get to. If you notice, if you look to the left, DC is changing, man. They took all the black people out of DC, man. They moved them to Maryland, stuff like that, Virginia, further south of Maryland. They're trying to take the city back, man, raising the taxes. I don't agree with that crap, man. You got, 60, 70-year-old people there that's forced to move so they can take their home and sell it for $500,000. The property right here you seeing is very expensive, man. Like those apartments to the left, I said, they probably about three grand a month, and that's no cap. So I appreciate everybody for rocking with me, man. Once again, man, I try to be more active, man. Just showing you Hood Time. Much respect to him. Salute my soldier. And he goes in everybody's hood, man. And different parts of the country and whatnot. And he pulls up, all types of hoods. So support the channel, man. Subscribe, support. Hit that like button. Like I said, man, I would encourage everybody to look at that Rayful Edmonds, Wayne Perry story, man. Look at it in detail, man. If you're bored, need something to do and whatnot, it just gives you a baseline, man, where we at right now. I think that started everything. Not to say it's a good thing, but we could have cleaned that up. But again, I'm only one person, man, and we just need to help one. One help one, man, and we multiply that. That's how we got to go. So we out of here, man. Happy Saturday, man. Like I said, make sure you go to church tomorrow, man. Pay respects to the Lord. God is watching everything, man. So just being close with God, man. And that's real shit. Get close with God right now, please. Thank you so much, man. And again, we out of here. Peace out, man.